Enlarge the screen. Okay, so you could enlarge the screen. Top right corner. Doesn't matter. This evening, the topic will be the teacher-student relationship, talk number 2. So I didn't quite exhaust that topic last, was it Sunday? And it's been talked about a lot. Having a teacher and a student, a convention in the Western world, culture in general is you have something to learn, you have something that studied that, and then that person teaches you. Quite often it is involved, well, with lots of things, depends on what it is, information, concepts, ideas, how to swim, how to dance, how to play pool. So many different ways, so many different ways of teaching, so many different things to be taught, so on and so forth. Spiritual path is different than a mundane path. It starts out fairly practical, pragmatic with steps and so on. And the different traditions down through the last 2,500 years in Buddhism are very specific in some areas, how this is done, how you should proceed, how you should obey this, do this, comply with this, follow rules, precepts, receive vows, stick to the vows, keep your promises, or as sometimes said, keep your agreements. I don't plan much, so I really, other than the topic, I didn't know what I was going to say. I still don't. What I just said, I heard it at the same time you did. It doesn't mean there's some kind of a disconnect going on. It's just a way of working with the material that is a little more spontaneous, maybe, than planning ahead. And that puts me on the spot, of course. Yes.
Something I've been thinking about with the teacher-student relationship is how nobody wants to be a student. Even if we come to the teacher and say, oh, please be my teacher, we all want so badly to be adults, and we so badly want to be an authority that we want the teacher to be what we want in our mind the teacher to be. How do we work through or work with this even subtle resistance to the teacher so that we can begin to open up?
That's good. And this shows up in different ways, in different lineages, different teaching styles. There's all kinds of concepts in Buddhism. It's a cumulative tradition. It's not revealed. Someone didn't come out of the sky and say, this is the truth, believe it. Someone came out of the womb, grew up, saw that life was suffering, and wanted to do something about it, wanted to understand what that was about. And that's what the Buddha proceeded to do. And he realized, his realization was, everything is dependently arisen. Sounds simple. It's such a concept that we can say, well, yeah, everything's dependently arisen. But to understand past the concept in the realization is very, very difficult. And you can find a realization, a so-called realization that is very conceptual and get reinforced by other people, other groups, other teachers that will reinforce your knowledge as a, you could say, a substitute for the actual realization. The actual realization is not about knowledge, and it's not particularly about concepts. So it seems to be necessary along the lines of what you're asking to have a teacher, meet a teacher who there's a spark of some kind. It seems there needs to be a spark. The true teacher, as it's seen over here, and I happen to have had a few of them, there's no sales pitch. If a teaching person is trying to sell you anything, this is fishy, as Trumper and Pache would